Why your tallow smells and how to fix it often comes down to a few simple things that a lot of people don't realize. So if you've ever rendered tallow and ended up with a strong, beefy smell instead of that clean, mild result you were hoping for, you're definitely not alone. The good news is once you understand what's happening during the process, it's actually very fixable. And one small change in how you render tallow can make a bigger difference than anything else. And I'll show you exactly what that is. The biggest reason why tallow can have a strong smell is how it's rendered. There are two main methods when it comes to rendering tallow: the dry method and the wet method. And before we get into that, if you'd like a collection of DIY home remedy recipes, you'll definitely want to check out my free DIY home remedy recipes ebook linked down in the description below this video. So dry rendering means heating fat on its own with nothing else added. The problem is it can get too hot too quickly and unevenly, especially the outside edges can start to brown and even burn before the inside fat is even rendered at all. That's when you get that very strong cooked beef smell. Wet rendering, on the other hand, uses water to keep the temperature very controlled and gentle and consistent. This does a great job of preventing browning and keeps the tallow a much lighter color and prevents the strong smell. And this one difference, dry rendering versus wet rendering, is usually why people get very different results. But even if you're already rendering using the wet method, there are a couple of steps that really make a big difference in how clean your finished tallow turns out, and I'll walk you through those next. So now let's walk through the wet rendering process step by step. So step number one is start with your fat. You can either start with ground fat, you can grind it yourself, you can try cutting it into small pieces, or you can start with large pieces and use my favorite trick. Once the tallow has been rendering for a little while and everything is nice and soft, use your immersion blender to whiz everything up nice and small. I love this because you can start with very large pieces of fat, no grinding or chopping needed, and you can use the immersion blender to get everything nice and small. It really speeds up the rendering process and it gives you a much higher yield. But back to our process of putting everything together. Step number one is start with your fat. Step number two is add water to the crock pot right at the beginning of the rendering. I like to add plenty of water and keep an eye on it, replacing the water if I need to during the rendering process in case any evaporates. Step number three is add a generous sprinkle of salt. Step four is turn on the heat, nice and gentle and low. On my crock pot, I turn it on the temperature setting low. Step five, let it melt and render gradually. As the fat melts, it separates from the connective tissue. Step number six is strain everything out. I strain everything through a metal strainer. The water and tallow goes into my metal mixing bowl below, and the connective tissue and anything else stays in the strainer. I discard that, usually feed it to my chickens. Next, I let that bowl with the tallow and water mixture solidify. Once it's solidified, I pop that cake of tallow off of the top and look at the bottom of it. After this first step, there's usually some brown discoloration that I will scrape off, and I discard the water from the bottom. At this point, your tallow still might have a slight smell, and this is where a lot of people stop. There's one more step that you can do that makes a huge difference in getting it as clean and mild as possible. Gentle heat and patience are key here because rushing the process usually creates stronger smells. And I'm curious, have you tried rendering tallow before and did it turn out the way that you had hoped? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your experience. The step that really transforms your tallow is the purifying process. And before we get to that, if you would like a collection of DIY personal care recipes, make sure to check out my free ebook linked down in the description below this video. So this is where you gently clean and refine the tallow after rendering, but it's in a way that doesn't remove anything or damage any of the nutrients. So once I've scraped the discoloration from the bottom of the tallow cake and discarded the water in the bottom of the bowl, I put my tallow cake back into my clean crock pot. I add more water, another big generous sprinkle of salt, and then I let it come to a simmer, again on low. Once it's reached a simmer, I let it simmer for about 1 hour, and then when that time is up, I go ahead and strain it again, this time in my metal strainer lined with cheesecloth. So just like before, the tallow and the water will go down in the mixing bowl below, and anything that could be left is strained out with the metal strainer and cheesecloth. I let this solidify just like before, and then once it's solidified, I pop the tallow cake out, and I look at it, and usually there is almost no discoloration, if any, on the bottom. And at this point, it's ready to use. I use it for cooking, for skincare, like tallow balm, soap making, lots of other things. You can repeat this purification process more times if you would like. But I find that when you're starting off with high quality tallow to begin with, just one purification step is usually sufficient. And this one step is often the step that takes tallow from still having a beefy smell to being very clean and mild. And like I said, you can see how it turned out, and you can repeat the purification steps more times if you need to, if you have more of a smell that you need to try to eliminate. I mean, even when your technique is perfect, there's still another factor that can still affect smell, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. So just remember, if your tallow does still have a smell after rendering and even after purifying a step, you can repeat the purifying step more, and that can make a big difference. But another big factor in how your tallow smells is the type of fat that you're beginning with. There are two main types of fat: leaf fat from around the kidneys and internal organs, and trim fat. Trim fat is usually cut from other areas of the animal when they are processing beef. Leaf fat tends to be a lot more mild, more neutral. It's usually lightest in color. It's usually the hardest and smoothest texture. Trim fat usually has more flavor. It can have a stronger smell. It can have more color to it, and it's usually softer in texture. But here's the important part. You can still get really good results using this method. In fact, this method that I've just shared with you is the best method to get the most clean, odorless, and light-colored tallow possible, no matter what type of fat you start with. And beyond that, there are a few other things that can influence what your finished tallow is like. Things that you can't always control, but it does help to understand them. So start off with the best fat that you can. Know that the method you use matters just as much, and that this method I just shared is the best. The final piece to understand is not all fat behaves the same. Factors like the breed of the cattle, the season, what the cattle were eating, can all affect the color and smell of the fat. For example, fat from grass-fed animals at certain times of the year can look and smell different from grain-fed animals and animals at other times of the year. Those differences are completely normal and to be expected. What matters most is using a method that gives you the best results. And when you combine all those pieces, gentle rendering, purification steps, and understanding the fat that you're working with, that's when you get the cleanest, most odorless tallow possible. And even if your very first batch wasn't perfect, you can definitely improve with a few adjustments. So if you've rendered tallow and it has a strong smell, don't get discouraged. It usually just comes down to technique and a few small details. Start with gentle, wet rendering, add the purification step, and just enjoy the process. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes really simple and doable, and it's so worth it. And if you would like to make some DIY natural beauty recipes that use tallow, make sure to check out my free DIY Natural Beauty Recipes ebook. It's linked down in the description below this video, along with my DIY Home Remedy Recipes ebook and my free DIY Personal Care Recipes ebook. So now that you know why your tallow smells and how to fix it, you might want to know the ultimate guide to rendering tallow and what mistakes to avoid. But how do you do that? It all starts by watching this video here next, because when you pair what you just learned with what you're about to learn here, it's so powerful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.